such a lead overall that it's probable that the Tour winner on Sunday evening will come from this 10 riders as well.
And this is a move as easy as you like. They're just over the top of the hill. There were no attacks on the climb. And now this is Vandenberg making a move just over the top. Often a good time to go, Jimmy, because all of the riders think the main obstacle is behind them.
Vandenberg, that's clever, waited until they summited, then he summoned whatever reserves of energy he had. Obviously there were plenty, and he took off from the summit on the downhill on the Youghal Old Road, and he'd come down and make a vicious right-hand turn into Ballyhooly New Road. Looks around, checks the proximity. Well, it's not very near the proximity now of everybody else, who are pretty well together, and out of sight could very well be out of mind here, because there are quite a few corners on this lap around Cork. The finish with Patrick's Hill, that's all over. He knows that now, and if he can get down along the quays and into Patrick Street itself, and then he'll turn into Grand Parade, and finally the finish will be in the South Mall.
Well, we're looking at a rider here, 50 metres up to the line. Every second still counts here. There's 4 more days to race. The race doesn't end here. The pain does just overnight before we do it all again tomorrow. But this time, Stijn Vandenberg of Unibet.com and Belgium, and just 23 years of age, gets his first pro victory. And somebody has slipped off the front here. It looks like the tall figure of Aaron Olsen, the American rider, just about going to hold off the sprinters. And Olsen races for T-Mobile for second place. Sulzberger ducking and diving, he gets third, and it looks like it probably is Grapsch who gets across the Vandenberg. But now he's riding for himself, because he's getting very close to leading in the King of the Mountains competition, and third place on this first category climb, which is one of the highest rated climbs you can have, is going to be very useful to him today, and he's not going to be challenged, so he is now closing in on Roger Beauchat's lead in the King of the Mountains.
So he's on 2 rolls today, one for himself to get those KOM points, and the other to protect the yellow jersey, which Unibet have done very well. The rider himself, Vandenberg, has ridden extremely well, nice and comfortably, and he's in this group here and looking real well.
The only worry that I think the yellow jersey of Vandenberg has got today is the fact that Marcus Lundqvist, who lies in 4th place overall in this race, is in this leading group. Now, he was first in the special bonus sprint down in Glengariff after 78 kilometres, and that has closed him up now into 3rd place overall. So he's got to be a concern to the yellow jersey. As we start the descent here then, these are the 2 leaders now. They're over the top.
T-Mobile, they will be ready to try and release Bernard Eisel for the finish in Killarney. But the finish in Killarney is really, really difficult one, because they come around the left-hander in the bend, the last bend. There's only 60 metres between there and the finish line. It's going to be tight and close.
Well, a lot of strong work again being put on here. That was young Andy Schleck, who just swung off the front now. It looks like Blaudsen is working here just at the minute. Frank Schleck is up here. They've all worked very, very hard. T-Mobile trying to move their man up. Olsen on the far right in those pink jerseys. The Slipstream team in the light blue, and it looks as though LPR now from Italy. Well, their big sprinter is Boris Bossi. Now, this is the S's just before the finish. Very difficult stretch. And now it's the rider from LPR who's opening up the sprint here now. He knows there must be a little left-hand turn coming up. Then you'll see the finish. This is Boric as he now comes round. Then he'll flick to his left as he hits the finishing line. But he's left a perfect lead out here for Breschel. Breschel has seen the finish and opened up. And my goodness me, he's just ripped off the front of this field. This has been a perfect day for CSC. Breschel gets the win, and in second place there will be Edvald Boasson, and I think Bernard Eisel made it in 3rd place.
Wonderful, what a victory! What a victory for Matty Breschel. The surprise is not that he won, but that he won with such ease in that final 100 metres. He was superb, particularly the last 60. But just for your information, important too, the yellow jersey is home and safe.
It was amazing. I've been wanting this victory for a long time. Now I got one a couple of weeks ago in Tour of Denmark, and that was my first one, and this my second. And I'm 3rd-year pro, so it was about time, and I really been training for this.
The beauty of the lakes on the left of the riders here. A lot of work being done by 121. He wants this breakaway to succeed, Edvald Boasson of Norway. He's just 20 years of age. He's a magic talent for the future. Now, they're the defenders in CSC of the man in the green jersey. And the yellow jersey here, well, his teammates, one is in red because he leads in the King of the Mountains, Pasamontes. Van den Berg also relying, though, on all of the riders in white. Now is about the time to start the sprint here as the Colavita rider swings away now. Ricchese's team trying to take the Argentinian towards the line. This is the final big turn, and trying to get on terms in the move too is T-Mobile's Bernhard Eisel. Now the kick for Boric here as the teammate leads him out. Traficante trying to take him clear. This is Bocic. Yesterday, remember, he was beaten. He went too soon, but now he's got a good lead out. Watch Baden Cook. He's dodging in the wheels. He moves to the right of the road as he swings into the straight here now. The two are clear here. Now the finish is just around that corner, and he's swung to the right. The Australian man who once won the green jersey in the Tour de France is unleashed. He might have gone too soon here. Eisel in pink is trying to get him as Cook now sees the finish 100 meters out, but this is Bocic, and Bocic is over the top of him as Eisel comes. Bocic gets the win. Sweet revenge for yesterday when he was beaten by Matti Breschel. Time to perfection, Jimmy.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant from the Slovenian, and it was Eisel who was second. Eisel third yesterday in Killarney, is second today. Is his turn about to come tomorrow? It looked here as though Cook had picked it right, but he just went that trifle too early, and Bocic had responded. Tremendous ride by Bocic. Very, very quick sprinter indeed, and he was flying at this stage, and Ben Cook was finished, beaten, and Bocic is the winner.
Well, I think that was Slovenian for well done there, Jimmy.
Dramatic incident. There was a low-speed accident, but one of the riders put his hand backwards into the spokes of the bike behind him. These bikes now use blade spokes, which are very, very narrow, and they cut the air. But unfortunately, this time they cut the wrist of the rider, and we couldn't get the hand out, and he was bleeding quite badly. We were afraid he'd cut an artery, so instead we just cut the blades of the bike, the spokes, got his hand out. Then we realized it wasn't as bad as we thought first, but he had a really deep cut. We could see right into the arteries and the veins of the hand, and we dressed him up and got him into hospital, where fortunately it wasn't as serious as we first thought.
Jersey himself is coming up towards the front of this group.
This really is anybody's race now, and it's down to who has got the engine for the big sprint, and Pate is quite incredible. Where is he getting this energy from?
He has led this race from the opening kilometers today, almost 230 kilometers in the lead. He is still finding this sort of attacking energy. He just doesn't want to surrender, and he's gone again, but they're coming after him. Tom Wieler's from the Rabobank team is the first man to reach him, but the field are right there behind. Just one little flip round a roundabout here. That is Boasson going on the left of our picture. Wow, he just clips off there. That's good bike riding. He's hit the front, and he's hit the sprinters before they were ready. Just look at the length of the gap that Edvald Boasson has opened up here. He can see the finish now. He is 20 years and 3 months old, this man, and he's absolutely flying down towards the finish here at Salt Hill. I think this time he may have got the win. He's had a second. I think he's now going to say he's got a first. He hits the line. The race behind is, in fact, T-Mobile's Eisel will have got second there, and we'll have a look again at the result, but it looks though Riccese was third. Just look at the power of this man at 20. He gets his first ever victory here in Ireland. Pate going through, Macaulay, Partridge, all regrouped on the way down as they continue. This is the peloton now. You see, you've got to keep away from that, and somebody crashed. Now that is Pordy O'Brien down there.
Team Murphy and Gunn, Ireland's professional road racing team. Yes, more.
And that is number 15, and that looks a little bit more serious. Lassie Bachmann here, and in fact Frank Schleck has got off his bike to have a look at his teammate. Well, there's 156 kilometers still to race. 21 to Aaron Olsen, who gets his finest ever finish as well in an international race of this caliber. So Stijn van den Berg wins the race by those 20 seconds over Marcus Lundqvist. In the green jersey competition, a little confusing at the end, but in the end it was won by Matti Breschel in a very close finish overall there. The white jersey, of course, well, that was also won by Van den Berg because he was also in the young rider competition.